Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Tone's Market Analysis for Wednesday, May 24th. I believe it's been about a week since I made this a video, maybe longer than a week. It might have been a week and a half. I don't even remember anymore. Just a lot of conferences going on right now. Hello, everyone. I was in Hong Kong for about 4 to 5 days where I attended the Martin Armstrong World Economic Conference, and I have to keep up with the world economy. I have to keep up with the world finances, because anyone who is only looking at Bitcoin in isolation and they don't pay attention what the hell is going on in the rest of the world, they can't possibly analyze Bitcoin. It's just dumb. So I have to spend time understanding the world economy in order for me to properly analyze what the hell is going on in Bitcoin and what its future is. Straight from Hong Kong, I went directly to Consensus. Oh my God. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about the Consensus conference on this podcast. I'm just going to focus on charting. I'm sure I will talk plenty about Consensus over this weekend, probably on the Bitcoin group. Maybe I'll do a fireside chat with Adam Meister. Maybe I'll see if Vortex is doing his show this Sunday. I know it's every other Sunday. I'll be talking about Consensus on a lot of other podcasts. I'm not going to talk about it here. And we're just going to jump right into the markets. Also, by the way, next week, I don't have any conferences. I'm not trading next week because earnings season is over. I'm going to spend the next week and a half to 2 weeks updating my website, just getting everything together, figuring out new content. I may just, not even wait. I might have to go out and buy a new computer just so, just so I don't have any more technical issues in the future and start to restructure some of this. But anyway, enough logistics. This travel schedule is all over the place. I was going to go to Kazakhstan and then India and then other places, but I haven't bought tickets yet. It's now 3 weeks away, and I'm sure the prices are now out of control and have gone out of my price range for myself to pay for travel for all these events. But hey, if I don't travel and I stay home, that means I can get more done when I travel. It's hard to do everything. I am going to glance at the markets, mostly because I haven't had time to look at the market. So this is my chance to take a look at the stock market from a technical perspective. And over the weekend, maybe I'll have time to read up on some of the fundamentals in the market. This was a bad, look, these days just suck, okay? Like this big day. I didn't even know what the hell was happening that day, but apparently, Trump got in some news broke that Trump is going to be impeached for some stupid reason. And the market crashed because guess what? Politicians, especially Democrats, are very, very dumb. They want the market to crash to prove that Trump is bad. The moment words of impeachment of Trump started to happen, the market fell 2% or whatever it fell, right? And a lot of these Democrats, they have stocks also. They have a lot of insider trading. They have portfolios. They have constituents. If they are responsible for impeaching Trump, by the way, if Trump actually gets impeached, the stock market will fall 50%. I have no doubt in my mind. Okay. So when I say I'm bullish the stock market, and I expect the stock market to double or triple over the next few years, that completely depends on Trump remaining the president. If there is a way to get rid of Trump, the stock market is totally screwed. Okay, so if you're a gold bug, you're sitting on a lot of gold and you have been scared to buy stocks for the last God knows how many years, you don't like Trump. You want Trump gone. You want stock markets to crash. You want everyone to lose their job because gold will go up because there will be chaos and panic. But if you don't want those things, you kind of want the stock market to go up. You want companies to do well. You want your salary to increase because your company is doing well, because the companies around you are doing well. And I have no clue what happened, but I can tell you what I think happened. What I think happened is the news of Trump being impeached went away, and the stock market is back to the highs. I never deleted this arrow. It was there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this arrow. I'm going to clone this arrow. Okay, clone. There it is. And I'm just going to put it here. Nope, wasn't the arrow. And I'm just going to put it here. Okay. Now, of course, I had a bullish trade going on the S&P. The Trump impeachment news, took me out of my bullish trade. I have not had time to enter another bullish trade on the stock market, or just put it on this chart. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I'm not going to have time to look at the market over the next 2 days, so I'm not going to touch it. I'll see how it goes. But look, we are now, you don't get 3 chances to get out. That's it. We're going higher, and we're going way higher. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Done. Here's the weekly chart. Very simple. I mean, you just take this line and very clear resistance. Bitcoin has been dealing with this in forever, and there it is. It looks like exactly 2,400. The longer it's stuck attempting to break 2,400, the more violent the break to the upside would be. So wait for the break, and I would go bullish. And you know what? I'll put an arrow right there. Like, I'm just bullish, guys. I mean, buy the stock market, unless Trump gets impeached. If you want the stock market to fall, you want then you want. Oh, there it is. I have a target. There's my target, 2650. No time though. No time on this. Just price target. I am going to talk a lot about Bitcoin. I'm going to try and get through this quick. Let's get rid of that. So here's a little dilemma, right? So gold's been going up. So the stocks have been going up and gold's been going up. I wouldn't touch gold right now because I think the stocks are going to pop to the upside and gold's going to fall. However, I cannot deny the fact that we have a bullish looking triangle here. Looks something like this. I just can't deny it, right? Like, as much as I'm bearish gold overall, this is an ascending triangle. It's an ascending triangle. And if this triangle is realized, what do we got here? We got about 1235, and we got about 1260. So that's maybe a little more than 1235. So 1230 or 1260. That's about a $30 pop. So there is a chance that gold will pop $30. Where does that leave us? Oh, right there, back to the line. That's possible, but I don't think that it will. I really don't. And here's why. Because if gold goes back to whatever this number is, what is this number? 1290, then it's a double top, and that means gold's going to go higher. But I'm bearish gold on a longer term scale. So there is, if it starts to pop above 1260, it's very possible it's going to 1290. And if it goes to 1290, then it's very likely that it's going higher. And it may hit this target of like 1320, though I would not do it. I would not risk this trade. This is one of those things where it's my fundamentals may get into the way of my technicals. And like the daily technical says that there's a triangle, there's a higher percent probability that it will break to the upside. But the stock market also has a high probability that it will break to the upside. And under normal market conditions, gold and stocks, they trade negatively correlated. All right, let's close that. Because here's the weekly gold chart, and nothing has changed, and we're back at the 50-week moving average. There is the declining trend line is right here. I was expecting one more rejection of the declining trend line, but I expected it way down here, not all the way up here. So I'm leaving this bearish arrow. It's not clean enough to go short. If gold falls below 1200, then gold would look like an amazing short to me. And if gold goes above 1300, then there'll be a long in gold. So right now, I wouldn't really wouldn't touch gold at the moment. Let me close that. All right, oil is going to be very quick. Oil's just been a complete mess. I've been scared to trade oil because like you call it, it moves in your direction for a little bit, and then it turns, and oil's in the middle of nowhere. Meanwhile, the 200-week moving average continues to fall. I've already given up on the inverse head and shoulders, and I think that in the near future, oil will fall. So the euro. So the euro is in its last dead cat bounce. This is the weekly chart of the euro. It is almost overbought on the RSI. It has not been overbought on the RSI in years. Years. The last time it was overbought on the RSI was 2011. Jesus Christ. Here at 1.5. Okay. So that's the territory we're reaching. I would love to see the euro, honestly, at this point, because I mean, this short trade is obviously done. Deleting that. There you go. So to be honest, like if the euro gets back to this yellow line, at this point, I'm actually going to expect it to break. So I'm taking down this arrow. I was wrong. I'll be wrong many times. I'm taking down this arrow, and I'm going to draw a green arrow on the euro. Boom. And then Merkel will get reelected, I think, and we'll do this. Okay, I could be wrong on this one also. And then I'm going to do this. So let's see how these arrows work out. When Le Pen didn't win the election, people have false hope that Macron will fix anything. He won't. When Merkel gets reelected, they'll think that they'll be able to fix the euro. They won't. And then, well, let's just say it won't be pretty. So that's kind of my outlook for euro. Let's take this out to, middle of next year. Well, maybe a little further. By the end of next year. It's a weekly chart. Things take time. Everything always falls slowly. And there'll be, ups and downs along the way. But that's my outlook. Same thing here. There were multiple bullish trades on this. Obviously, this secondary trade was profitable for a little while. Very quick stop loss. I'm deleting that. I'm also going to delete this one as well. This trade the profits on this trade should have been taken long ago. And I'll wait and I'll see. And I think this is another amazing trade. The next time it'll come will probably be on the break of 85. Let's close that. All right, Bitcoin time, guys. I have 200 viewers. Let's close everything else. I will talk about Bitcoin in 1 minute. I want to thank everyone that watches me. I do apologize for taking so long between videos, but travels between Hong Kong and New York and all these conferences. I'm not even sure why I went to Consensus. And I do know why I went to Consensus, but I'll talk about it on other podcasts, like I said, definitely on the Bitcoin group and maybe with Adam Meister, maybe some other podcasts that want to have me on as a guest. I'll have time next week. We can talk about the Consensus conference. I basically went there to talk to people that were not speakers. Basically, everyone who I wanted to see as a speaker was not a speaker. And those are the people that I cared about. Those are the people that I believe actually know something. And 75% of the speakers at Consensus, I've never even heard of these people. I have never heard of these people. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they came from. I don't know what they do. And it was probably one of the biggest scam fests I've ever seen. I didn't even troll them. I didn't even tweet. I didn't even want to. I didn't want to. Anyway, let me stop talking about Consensus. I'll talk about it on another podcast. It was just like horrible. And they're charging like $3,000 for people to go there. It's literally a tragedy. But what else do I want to say? Oh, thank you for your donations. A few donations did come in. The Bitcoin price is popping. Hopefully everyone is rich, and the altcoins are going up even more. Okay. All right. I'm probably going to do another one of these videos tomorrow morning. I know I've been like depriving everyone of videos. I'm going to do this one quick. I'll see. Well, let's see what Bitcoin does overnight. Maybe I'll do another video tomorrow morning. I may go to the Token Summit, which is the ICO scam coin event. I may or may not go. I haven't decided yet. I mean, I'll see. I'll see. Maybe I'll go there in the afternoon, and I'll try and make another one of these videos in the morning tomorrow, and I'll try and make another one of these videos on Friday if I can. But I'll try and get a few more of these out, because we do have to talk about SegWit. We have to talk about that stuff. And I'll get to your questions in a minute. Thank you, Rich, for helping me out with the questions. Okay, so here's Bitcoin. I remain bullish Bitcoin. However, you can see that we are finally starting to go exponential. This is exponential. This is like this move right here. Back in 2015, where each week each green bar slowly gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And today was a pretty damn big bar. Okay. So we're going exponential, but here's why I have. This is as bullish as I'm very cautious. This is as bullish as I've been on Bitcoin in a long time. The euphoria and the FOMO over these ICOs and these altcoins that are complete and utter scams is unbelievable. I was trying to sell Bitcoin at consensus, not because I wanted to sell Bitcoin. I just wanted to see who would buy Bitcoin. And all they wanted to do was buy Ethereum from me. I actually, like as an experiment, like I literally sold someone Bitcoin just so that person can immediately turn it around and buy Ethereum with it. This is what was happening. No one cared. They wanted to buy anything. They bought, anything except Bitcoin. Nobody wants Bitcoin. Nobody. Okay. So there you go. Bitcoin can't possibly be in a bubble with this insanity all around it. So I am as bullish Bitcoin as I've ever been. Okay. Now, yes, the weekly chart looks like it's in a bubble. But when you factor in the environment, when you factor in the altcoins, it's not yet. It could be in a joint bubble, and there's so many questions that are unknown. And I'll do another video tomorrow. I'll try to, and I'll talk about it more. I don't want this video to be too long, and I do want to get to your questions as well. When the bubble in ICOs and shitcoins pops, will it take Bitcoin down with it, or will it cause the ultimate FOMO and top in Bitcoin? I don't know. I am leaning to the altcoin bust driving Bitcoin. There are so many drivers to Bitcoin. First of all, most of the time you have to buy Bitcoin to buy the altcoins. Most of the time. These days you can do it through Ethereum, but Ethereum is vaporware. Ethereum is complete nonsense. I know it's $180, and I know I could have been a multi-millionaire if all I had to do was spend a few Bitcoin on the Ethereum pre-sale instead of preaching that it's a scam, and I'd be a multi-millionaire right now. I don't regret that decision. The reason I don't regret that decision is because at the time that was the right decision, and I remain in my little bubble that was the right decision, so it doesn't bother me. Okay, so but it's going to collapse. I don't know when it's going to collapse. Ethereum can surpass Bitcoin in price. Ethereum can go to $8,000 while Bitcoin is at 5,000. Is that possible? Absolutely possible. Okay, but after that, Ethereum will go down to zero. Ethereum Classic has a better chance of long-term survival than Ethereum does. Okay, I'm not going to get into why. This is why. Please go watch Crypto Scam Ethereum on the same channel. And part 2, hopefully I'll try and get that out next week. And then part 3 the week after. I'm going to, work on those in the coming weeks. So what else can we say? So I'm still looking for a top in Bitcoin on August 14th. I know everyone's going to ask why August 14th. I will update my article. Please go to the description of this video. Click on the Cointelegraph article from 2014, where I talk about the most important day in the life cycle of Bitcoin will be August 14th, 2017. I talked about it back in 2014. I also explained where that date came from. It came from a strictly time analysis. And now I want to when it's time to combine time analysis with price analysis, it becomes very, very tricky. In the beginning of the year, when Bitcoin was still under $1,000, I tried to take a guess what the price of Bitcoin will be on August 14th. And I guessed that it would be $2,000. I thought that a $2,000 price of Bitcoin on August 14th was a reasonable price target to reach my time critical point. Obviously, we are already at 2,500 per Bitcoin. How high can the price of Bitcoin go till August 14th? I have absolutely no clue. No one does. And no, Cliff High doesn't know either, okay? I've never seen a single one of his videos, but please, if another person texts me asking me about Cliff High, I will lose it, okay? Anyway, I am looking for a top. I'm looking for something to happen August 14th. I have no idea. It could be wrong. It could be August 15th. It could be August 17th. It could be that anytime that week. Do I really believe in astrology and that this date is going to be important? The only reason why I do is because in 2014, I picked 2 future dates. I picked June 16th, 2015, and then the date in August coming up. And I even said, I think that what I'm doing is crazy. Nothing's going to happen on those days. And that last day actually corresponded to within 24 hours of the Greek banking crisis, which to this day I consider the change in trend from bearish to bullish. It was not the low, but to me, this is when the trend changed, because Cyprus happened way back here, like 2 years earlier. The Greek banking crisis happened right here. This fell on the other day that I had circled. Back in August of 2014 would have been here. So I wrote it over here. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor. Let me see if we can change that. Crosshairs. Maybe this would help. So August, at the end of August, I wrote it. So right here, the price of Bitcoin was about $500. So when Bitcoin was $500 and nobody knew if the low of 350 was already in, I wrote an article. There'll be 2 critical dates. One of them right here, the week of the Greek crisis, or maybe right before it. Maybe it was within a few days. It could have been, I don't remember now. I can fact check myself later. And the one coming up is going to come up right up here. Can Bitcoin be at 5,000? Of course it can. Can it crash into August 14th and turn around on August 14th because SegWit got in? Of course it can. Over the next month or so, I will speculate what can happen to make that date critical. For those that are asking me why I think that date is critical, please look at the description of this video. Please go back and read my Cointelegraph article from August 2014, and it's an article on introduction to time. Some people trade time instead of price. It's a very strange analysis. It's a lot closer to astrology than anything else. But hey, you know what? I wanted to give it a try, so I did it. Okay, and I'm gonna keep an eye on that date. Let's see what happens on that date. Maybe nothing, maybe something. But I made a mistake and not trusting that date and putting all my money in Bitcoin. So I am expecting Bitcoin to keep going higher into August, into the second week of August, second, third week of August, and then potentially top there. And this video is, I'll do a lot more of these videos. I'll try to, and I'll get more specific with what may happen. My best guess is that SegWit will get in around my date, and there will be so much FOMO leading up to SegWit getting into the Bitcoin protocol that the price will top, and SegWit activation will be a selling event and not a buying event, because traders will preemptively buy up Bitcoin. Okay. All right. So here is the shorter term view. This is Bitstamp. So while everyone was complaining to switch my charts to Bitstamp instead of Bitfinex because Bitfinex was trading $100 above Bitstamp, look what happened. They're now trading at the same price. And earlier today, Bitfinex was trading like $50 below Bitstamp. I mean, these things go back and forth. There is absolutely nothing I can say about this chart. I was totally wrong. I expected Bitcoin to slow down its appreciation and hug the upper end of the channel. We have now broken out of the channel. We are in a dangerous situation, but you have to be crazy to short Bitcoin. You cannot pick a top in Bitcoin. It can go up and up and up. Considering as Bitcoin is skyrocketing, it continues to lose overall market share against other crypto coins. And Bitcoin is the only one technologically worth a damn. So can this go to 5,000 by August? Absolutely. Can it also crash tomorrow because it has gone too far too fast? Absolutely. So at this point, I will consider the top of this channel, the pink line, to be support. So at the moment, I'm going to draw a very short line in case we get a crash while I go to sleep tonight, right here. Right there. So that is my support. In case there is a flash crash in Bitcoin, I don't know, maybe another hack, I don't know, whatever, right? More FUD from the big blockers, who the hell knows, okay? So if Bitcoin starts to crash, I would look for support right here at around 2,000. 1,900 to 2,000 would be my pullback buy point. But at this point, Bitcoin has gone exponential. I've always been bullish Bitcoin, and even when I got here, I never called for a sell. I said it was, scary, but even when it was falling, I stuck with it. I said it should stay at the top of the range. It stayed at one above the range. So I'm expecting to wake up tomorrow and see Bitcoin at like 26, 2,700. I'm literally expecting it to go up insane amount leading into August. How high can it get? No one freaking knows. Same thing. Here's the Bitfinex chart. Let's talk about the hourly chart. The hourly chart is actually the most interesting thing here. If I move this back, this was the channel that those that have been watching me long enough. I was talking about this channel for a long time. This was my SegWit activation channel, and everything was going good. And we got a little bit below, we got back inside. This channel was amazingly accurate. And then the ETF news hit. We were bouncing back just beautifully, and then the ant pool signaled for big blocks, which they don't care about, and everything went kind of crappy. And we are now back in the SegWit activation channel. SegWit is going to be activated. This is a pretty damn steep channel. These are hourly charts. So we're talking, if we get back into this channel, even if we stay in this channel, the way we're going now, we're going to bust above this old channel. If we just stay in this channel, let's see, by the end of July, am I moving? Oh, I can't move it anymore. It's not letting me. So how far can I get here? This is August 14th, and it's not letting me. Okay, so June 14th, sorry. So June 14th, the bottom of this channel is at 2750. The top of this channel is at 3000. And that's if we stay in this channel. And the way we're moving, it looks like we're going to be breaking it. So I'm normally I would be saying this is a little bit out of control, but everything that I see is like no one wants Bitcoin. Everybody hates Bitcoin. Nobody cares about Bitcoin. And it's going up like crazy. And I understand it's not going up 100 times. Like, I don't know, whatever your number 83 on the crypto, on, on the current, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, none of this matters. None of this has any technological substance. Not to mention everything but Bitcoin has people that I still think are going to go to prison. So it doesn't matter. I'm not even like, I'm happy. I have some Bitcoin in cold storage. That's all I'm happy about. Like, I don't care if I don't care if you have $100 million that you made from Ethereum. It's, you know what, I can only do what I can do. And that's pretty much it. I'm almost at 300 viewers, at about 280. Thank you guys. Thank you again. Here are, it's so rare that I retweet something. Oh yeah, by the way, like, look, here are my highlights from Consensus. I got to, spend a few hours talking to Tour de Meister. I should really ask him how to pronounce his last name. Spent a few hours talking to Tour. Spent a few hours talking to Whale Panda in person. Spent a little bit of time talking to Samson Mao. Spent some time talking to Adam Back and Andrew Polstra. There weren't too many other Blockstream people there. Spent some time talking to Sonny Ray of Uno Coin. That's almost it. I'm sorry if I missed a few other people. But these were the people whose company I really enjoyed. I know there are more. I'm tired. I really should be. Oh, Summer, thank you for coming down to New York. It's me, Boss Lady. She's a frequent follower. Probably still too busy in these chats. Hey, there you are, Summer. I see you in the chat. Summer was there, hanging out with us. And that was my only sanity there. I would constantly walk into the room, like the Blockstream room, where Adam Back and Andrew Polstra were just like sitting there. Blue Matt would be walking in there every now and then as well. And I would walk in there, talk to them, get my sanity back, and then go back onto the floor. But anyway, I'll talk more about that on other podcasts. All right, let's get to some of your questions. Let's see what we got here. What did I eat in Hong Kong that I've never eaten before? I've been to Hong Kong about 4 to 5 times. I did not eat anything new there that I recall. Thinking about it, and no, there was nothing new to eat there. I have to go to some really, really, really obscure countries to eat something I've never eaten before. Maybe when I get to India, they'll have me try something I haven't had yet. Can you please share briefly on the Armstrong Economics Conference? Sure. So I don't trade Martin Armstrong's. I really like him as an economist. I really like him as a financial and economic historian. Huge fan. I like his blog. I like his views on the world economy and how money flows. Martin Armstrong is starting to come around to Bitcoin. I would like to think I had a little bit to do with that. I mean, I've emailed him several times explaining the way it works. I've spoken to the CEO of his company. That would be Ashley Warren. I need to reach out to Ashley again, and I mean, I need them to. I don't care if they like or don't like Bitcoin. That's their opinion. I just need them to understand exactly what it is and what it's for and how it works. Like, it's hard for people to formulate. Like, I don't mind debating, whether Bitcoin is a scam or not, as long as the facts, as long as you understand how it works, and then I'll gladly listen to your argument that Bitcoin is insane. So Armstrong is starting to come around, being a little more friendly towards Bitcoin. I still would like him to understand how it works a little bit more, and then I would love to hear a more informed opinion from him. So his views are, he still believes, like, he refers to it as a slingshot, and Bitcoin experienced a slingshot. Oh my God, it's going up. It's just going up. It's insane. So Martin expects the stock market to do something called a slingshot. We had two slingshots right here. It crashes, everyone gets scared and gets out, and then it goes up. But this one was bigger. It crashed on the ETF news and on the Bitcoin Unlimited news, and then look at this perfect bounce. I was calling it, some people weren't, and then boom, the slingshot. This is what Martin Armstrong expects from the stock market. He expects, but maybe a scare in the stock market where it like dips and then it shoots to the upside, or it can just shoot to the upside. He's also expecting something similar in gold. He thinks that gold will go up and make new highs in the near future. He's still expecting, a complete collapse of the euro. And yes, my views on the euro are directly influenced by Martin Armstrong's work. Me no longer being a gold bug is also very heavily influenced by Martin Armstrong's work. My August 14th critical date on Bitcoin is directly from Martin Armstrong's work. I want him to add Bitcoin to his time models so that he can provide the critical dates for Bitcoin, but he hasn't done that. So I did it back in 2014. I applied some of Martin Armstrong's time analysis theories, like the 101, not even the 101, the 100 and a half, because I don't have the computer power that he does. So I just spent, half a day using the very basics of his pi model on cyclical, economic trends. And I applied it to the life cycle of Bitcoin. And that's where the August 14th date came from. And honestly, I need to verify. I have to redo it so that maybe it's August 15th. I have to double check that date. It's in that vicinity though. And that's where that date's coming from. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's a dud, it's a dud. I have no idea. But I mean, that date to me is no different than the channel. Like when Bitcoin fell to this channel, like I have no idea if it's gonna bounce. I have no idea if it's gonna break. All I know is 760 was a very important price. And if you go back to like the Twitter, I kept talking about how 760 is the perfect buy. Then that's all it was. It was a price that I cared a lot about and was gonna it was an important price. Back on this crash, 915 was a very important price because it was the bottom of the channel. Time analysis works the same way. August 14th is a very important day. Is it going to matter? I have no idea, but it's a date that I will be watching like a hawk because I ignored the last day that I felt that was going to be important, and that date corresponded with the Greek banking crisis. And I'm not going to ignore a date, so I'll be watching it like a hawk. And yes, that was also influenced by Martin Armstrong. He is the only blogger that I read. I have tuned out every other blogger and like anybody else. Like I used to follow other people. I used to really like to read Mish for economics. I used to Chris Chiavacco. I used to like reading him for stock market. I used to like reading Chris Kimball for charting. There were other people I used to read. I have no time for any of them. The only one I tried to keep up with is Martin Armstrong. Yes, he needs to be fact checked left and right. Every third article, I just want to like rip my hair out because I'm like, that is factually incorrect. I mean, everyone makes mistakes, but I really like him as a historian in economics. I think I'm going on a little too long. Do I follow his trading? No, I don't. Have I tried following his trading in the past? Yes, I have. Did it make me money? No, it did not. The only trading I follow is my own. I have come to the conclusion that I have my own strategies, and some of my strategies work better than others. And the more I stick to the strategies I know work consistently, the better I am as a trader. I need to get better at not trading just for the purpose of trading and only take on trades that I know are amazing risk and reward trades. Okay, so maybe I'll do another one of these episodes focusing more on Martin Armstrong's conferences and his work. All right, I'm going to move on. What do you think about Vinny Lingham running an ICO? I honestly, I saw his presentation about his product. I don't know the details of the ICO. If someone forces me to answer it, I don't like it. I don't like it a lot. Do you think he's trying to get back the Bitcoin he sold cheap? I have no idea. You have to ask him, and if he's smart, he's not going to answer you. I don't like anybody ICOing. Look, I'm losing friends left and right. Like, I hate the fact that Reggie Middleton is ICOing. I hate the fact that Lenny Bingham is ICOing. But I could also be the idiot, right? I hate the fact that Brock Pierce is ICOing. I mean, these people are friends of mine. I hate the fact that they're ICOing. I really, really do. Now, will the regulation come on the side of ICOs? And in 3 years, would I look like the idiot? And all IPOs are replaced by ICOs, and they will all laugh at me. Hopefully, they'll buy me some drinks. Hopefully, they'll all be billionaires, and maybe I'll be invited to their private parties, right? Or maybe they'll be mad at me for calling them out. I don't know. I am of the position that ICOs are, somewhere in the following triangle: scams, stupid, illegal, somewhere in the middle, right? And I could be totally wrong. I can be totally wrong, but I feel like I have not been proven wrong yet. Just because the price going up doesn't mean anything, right? Like, I saw the .com bubble. So I am not a fan of ICOs. It's my ideology, I guess. If I'm proven wrong, then I'll be wrong, right? Hopefully my Bitcoin won't go to zero while everything else goes up, right? And I won't be like literally a broke bum, which I almost am. So I don't know what to say, right? Like, I'm still gonna, kind of stay friends with these guys, but like, I'm never gonna promote an ICO, never. I don't like it. I used to hate regulation, and I don't know what I think about regulation now. My whole world's going upside down. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. Yeah, next question. With baby boomers being forced to sell 3.5% of the 401k at age 70.5, are they really forced to sell 3.5% of the 401k at 70 and a half? I did not know that. I need to look up that law. I thought you can still hold it as long as you didn't need the money. But sure, I'll for the sake of trying to answer the question, I will assume the questioner knows the law better than me. With baby boomers being forced to sell 3.5% of their 401ks and IRAs at age 70 and a half, this is bearish for the stock market in the near term. No, I don't. If anything, this might be bullish for the stock market. No baby boomer is holding stocks. Baby boomers are holding bonds. So I see this because the financial institutions not only have been scared of the stock market, baby boomers have been convinced that as you get closer and closer to 70, your portfolio should have less and less risk. So no one holding a 401k unless it's self-directed. And most people don't self-direct their retirement funds. So if you have an investment manager managing your money, by the time you reach 70.5%, maybe 5% of that money is in stocks. The rest of that money is in bonds. Most of it is in government bonds. So when all that shit starts to be sold, they're selling bonds. They're not selling stocks. When you sell bonds, interest rates go up. And that creates pressure on government debt. Also, when interest rates starts to go up, the value of the bonds starts to fall. So other baby boomers holding their retirement funds will now see their portfolios lose money as the stock market continues to go up 15 to 25% per year like it did last year. So a lot of these baby boomers are going to say, what the hell? Why is my retirement portfolio losing money? They will either withdraw more money and put it into cash, or they're going to say, I am missing out on whatever, stocks. Maybe they're missing out on Bitcoin. They're going to take that money out of bonds. They're going to move it into stocks, into Bitcoin, into gold, into houses, into anything other than bonds. This is why bonds are in a bubble, not stocks, bonds. And the more baby boomers sell, the more baby boomers are going to want to sell. Everyone's going to want to sell. As everyone sells the bonds, government can't sell the bonds. Interest rates go up, government debts go up. Trump is going to be in serious trouble because he's going to have a major problem financing U.S. debt because yields can't go any lower. So there will be massive problems. I can foresee a law coming in forcing baby boomers not to have the ability to sell their retirement funds because the government will not allow them to sell those bonds because that can crash the U.S. debt. So they may force them to hold on to those bonds. Bitcoin is going up as we speak. We are over 2,500 on Bitstamp. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I personally would not be surprised if Bitcoin is 5,000 by August. I don't want to contribute to the FOMO, and I know we're in an exponential rise, but I also see what's going on in the altcoin space, and it is insane. And if SegWit is starting to be adopted, so much of the migration is going to go back to Bitcoin. The liquidity is not there. The blocks are kind of full. I would have sold a little bit more Bitcoin, but the fee was too high. So I said, screw it, I'll hold the Bitcoin. Like this is the problem. This is the nightmare scenario, right? It's like somebody wants to buy Bitcoin. Look, I'll sell you some Bitcoin. I'll sell a couple of Bitcoins. I love the price of 2,500. But guess what, guys? A lot of you, I use a HD wallet for my tips. So I get tips. My average tip is like $3. You guys are sending me, $2 tips, $3 tips, $5 tips. They've slowly added up, right? Let's assume that over the life of my videos, you guys have tipped me one full Bitcoin for using round numbers, okay? And this is what you have to understand. You've tipped me one full Bitcoin over the life of my videos. And, well, thanks to the price going up, of course, right? Because if you gave me $5 a year ago, that $5 is now like 20. Okay? So that has added up to one Bitcoin. I'm at this conference. Somebody wants to buy Ethereum. I don't have any Ethereum, but I said, hey, let me sell you a Bitcoin and then you can go and buy Ethereum with it. I go to sell the Bitcoin. I have one Bitcoin composed of $5 transaction. Do you know what my transaction fee of sending them one Bitcoin is? Over $150. So I got to pay $150 transaction fee to send one Bitcoin because it's composed of like 300 inputs. Now, once I send it to that person, in order for them to resend that Bitcoin, it's only going to cost them 50 cents. But for me to do it, it's going to cost me $150. I'm not going to send them that Bitcoin. I'm going to be like, you know what? I was going to sell you a Bitcoin, but guess what? The fee's too high. I'm just going to hold on to it. I'll wait for SegWit. I'll wait a year for SegWit. I'll hold the Bitcoin. I'm not going to pay a $150 fee. I'm not an idiot. I'll just wait. I'll hold it. If that's happening to me, that has to be happening to other people. I don't want to sell my Bitcoin because I don't want to pay the high fees. I'll wait. And boom, liquidity in Bitcoin goes down. And when liquidity goes down, price goes up. Look, 15.20. We're going up. What else can I say? And so that's kind of the gist of it. Good question on the government, on the baby boomers. The baby boomers are gonna, like, you'll see 75, 80-year-olds throwing their money at the stock market, causing a stock market bubble because the bond market is crashing. And then the government will scramble to prevent people from selling the bonds. You have to realize that there is 5 to 10 times more money sitting in bonds than in stocks. Stocks are grossly undervalued. The bond market trumps the stock market by weight. But guess what? Stocks have underlying value. There are companies like Google, like Tesla, like Netflix, like Apple, like Microsoft. Yes, I know Microsoft is introducing everybody to Bitcoin thanks to ransomware. But they're companies, they have assets. They have IP, which is intellectual property, in case someone doesn't know what IP stands for. They actually have tangible assets. What the hell do government bonds have? They have nothing. There's nothing backing them except taxes, which people can kind of avoid these days if you use Bitcoin correctly, right? The governments have nothing. There is no underlying value. Forget the currency. The dollar is not going to crash. You are people, these gold bugs, these gloom and doomers, they're focusing on the wrong thing. People will buy those paper dollars because there is a shortage of paper dollars. What is going to implode are the government bonds, and that market is 10 times bigger than the stocks. When that 35-year bubble implodes in the next 5 to 10 years, maybe tomorrow, who the hell knows? That money has to rush out of there and go somewhere. Most of it is going to stocks. Some of it is going to gold. Some of it is going to Bitcoin. Some of it is going to real estate. But real estate is tricky because the government can tax the shit out of your real estate because you can't move it. But guess what you can move? You can move that Bitcoin around. Well, not yet, not until we get SegWit. But once we get SegWit, hell yeah. Gold is a little hard to move these days. Don't forget those pesky little metal detectors. All right, anyway, I got so many questions, so let's move on. What are your feelings about Core not being included in the Silbert agreement? I love it. How will Core react? And can we still avoid a hard fork through example? Core doesn't give... I'm trying not to curse. I'm trying to make this... Core doesn't give a bleep about that damn agreement. Because guess what? Core doesn't control anything. Nobody can hard fork Bitcoin. That agreement is totally irrelevant. I don't want to put Core on the spot here, but hey, you guys are watching me. I tell you what I think. That agreement is completely irrelevant. Where are Samson Miles' tweets? I'm going to leave this on the screen. Here. This is what Core, he's their community director. Perfect. Go ahead and read that. Oh, is there more? Nope, that's it. Here. You have it on the screen. This is the Barry Silbert agreement right here. Samson could not have explained it perfectly. I wish I would have wrote all this, but hey, he's a better, he tweets way better than I do. So completely irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Look, Core, every member of Core can sign that damn agreement. You know what it's gonna mean? It's gonna mean jack. It's gonna mean nothing. Bitcoin is not forking. Segregated witness is going in. It's going in because it'll help scale Bitcoin. And then maybe next year, maybe, if segregated witness and Lightning can't solve the problem, maybe then, maybe the entire community will agree to a hard fork to 2 megabytes. And honestly, I don't even think that's going to happen. I don't. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look, the big blockers need to save face. They know that SegWit's going in. It's going to go in smoothly, or it's going to go in harshly with a user-activated soft fork. I have actually, Samsung gave me the hat. I'll probably wear it next video. I was always on the fence about supporting a user-activated soft fork, but I think I'm coming off that fence. I think I now will support a user-activated soft fork. I still think it's a little bit dangerous, but I think the bigger the support for user-activated soft fork, the more the big blockers will. I mean, look, everybody, I'll sign it. Give me the agreement. I'll sign it. Put it in front of me. Segregated witness gets in. 2 months later, 1 month later, hard fork to 2 megabytes. I'll sign it. And you know what I'm gonna do after a month? At the moment segregated witness gets in, I'm gonna look at my signature on that paper, and I'm gonna laugh at the people that thought that signature meant anything. It means nothing. No one has the power to control the users and force them to update software. Nobody does. People still run Microsoft XP. Microsoft don't support it, but guess what? People still run it because it was the most stable Microsoft operating system they've ever put out, in my opinion. Okay, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look, so the Bitcoin Unlimited realized there's nothing they can do. They need SegWit. You know, as long as, look, sign them. Go sign it. At this point, I know the Blockstream and core people well enough. I don't even, if they sign it, I wouldn't believe them. Because they know they can't, there's nothing they can do about it, right? And they're not really going to program this stuff. They're not going to waste their time. They know it's not doable. Just need SegWit. Listen, whatever gets SegWit in there, you know, I'll sign a piece of paper saying, I don't know, I'll donate a body part. And then I just won't do it. I just need SegWit. Like, I don't care. Call me a liar. That's fine. It doesn't matter because I'm offering something I can't deliver. Core cannot sign that because they cannot deliver a hard fork. It is technically outside of their control. It's just outside of their control. Anyway, let me stop going off on a rant. Let's get back to questions. Is it a good idea to take some profit now and sell like 5 to 10% of Bitcoin? Look, as a trader, forget Bitcoin. Let's talk about any asset. If you are sitting on a really good gain, it's always a good idea to take your profit and don't be upset about it. Okay? Just take your profit. Take some profit. I would have sold a little more Bitcoin this weekend if the fees weren't so high. I'll wait, but it's never a bad idea to take 5 to 10% off the table. Never, especially if you've been very profitable. Is Bitcoin going to add smart contracts through RSK? RSK is rootstock in the future. I honestly don't know. To me, rootstock is not a scam yet. And by yet, I mean as long as rootstock doesn't tokenize, as long as rootstock doesn't ICO, as long as rootstock doesn't create their own currency, doesn't create their own, I don't know, roots to feed into the system as a gas or as a, I don't know, as carbon dioxide. That's what they should name it. If rootstock tokenizes, I think they should name their token CO2. And if you don't know why rootstock should name their token CO2, you should have please don't ever talk about climate change and go do some reading. Okay, I digress. So as long as rootstock doesn't tokenize, they're not a scam. Do I think rootstock is a good idea? Do I think rootstock is useful? I don't know. If I had to debate, if I was asked, hey, Tone, can you debate um, is Rootstock a viable project? I would choose to debate that Rootstock is not a viable project and it's kind of useless. But that does not make it a scam in my book. Okay. So I don't think Rootstock, hey, again, they can prove me wrong. They can. I like Diego. I really like the guys at Rootstock. Um, but I don't think we need smart, decentralized smart contracts, guys. I just don't. We'll see what they can do. I would love to see them prove me wrong. I would rather see them prove me wrong than Ethereum prove me wrong. That's for damn sure. So the jury is still out. I need to do a lot more research on Rootstock and smart contracts. I promise I will cover Rootstock in Crypto Scam, but I need to do research before I cover it in Crypto Scam. And I don't have an opinion of it yet. I am leaning towards I don't think Rootstock is going to succeed, but that's a pure speculative opinion. They are not on. They're just they're not a scam in my book, which kind of goes kind of far these days. Let me see here. Oh, I already answered Barry's. Okay, wait. What do you think about the Barry Silver deal? I heard Adam Back said something about it. I don't know what Adam Back said about it. I just know what I said about it. I think I just already covered it earlier. Next. You say you will watch the 14th of August like a hawk, but what is your plan? I don't have a plan yet, guys. August 14th to me is still what? We're still in May, right? There's still June, July, and August. I do not have a plan. My plan would depend on what the price of Bitcoin is at mid-July, right? When I know what the price of Bitcoin is mid-July, I can then start thinking about plan A. I can then start thinking about plan B. I have no plan. Right now, it's just a date, and I'm going to watch it, and I'll tell you guys what I think. I mean, I don't trade Bitcoin. I just like hold it until it goes to zero, or I don't know, maybe the halving, maybe 10,000, maybe 20,000. I don't know. All I know is I'm just holding on to Bitcoin and I'm happy. I don't have any plans. I don't have a plan A. I don't have a plan B. I don't have a plan C, but I will have A, B, and C all planned before August begins. Did any good intel come from Consensus? Oh, God, no. I mean, I didn't attend any of the presentations. I heard Fluffy Pony did great. He called like everyone on his panel a scammer. That was awesome. But I haven't seen it. I wish if someone has the video, please tweet it and tag me. The Fluffy Pony panel from Consensus. Can you talk about the Bitcoin premium in Korea? Not really. I mean, look, you kind of have to buy Bitcoin from the exchange in your country, and the amount of Bitcoin in your country is limited. So obviously the demand is way outstripping supply in Korea, and the premium is high. And when the arbitrage becomes interesting enough, people will go to Korea with a bunch of Bitcoin and suck that all out. So that's about it. Why should coins that were pre-mined to fund development be looked at as shit coins with no future? Because that's not how currency works, and that's not how. Okay, they just are. I don't have time to get into it. You can't just create your own currency out of nothing to fund development. Life doesn't work that way, right? Then we would all have money. I would have Tonecoin. I don't know the name of the person that asked the question. Let's call him John. It would be John Coin, right? The person that asked the next question, right? If you can just print money to fund development, why can't you print money to fund your apartment? Why can't you print money and go to the most expensive restaurant in your town? How the hell is that different? Just think about that. That's why it's a shitcoin. Is selling Bitcoin to local Bitcoins considered tax avoidance or tax evasion? If you don't pay taxes, yes. So be careful. Did everyone at Consensus see the Ripple guy clearly for the scam bag he and the Ripple team are? There were about 5 to 10 Ripple guys. You have to be a lot more specific. I don't know who you are talking about. I actually had a little chat with the Ripple people. I thought I was going to get out of there, with bruises, but they were nice to me. I don't know why they were nice to me, but Ripple guys were nice to me. I don't have anything bad to say about Ripple today. Go watch Crypto Scam episode 6, Ripple. I'm gonna, I had a nice little chat with the Ripple guys. I explained my view of things, and that's it. And I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave Ripple alone for the rest of the week, and then we'll see. What's a good strategy to get more user-activated soft fork support? I don't know. We'll see. Let me think about that one, because let me think about that one. Maybe I'll make a video. Hard to answer. All right, guys. So I think this video has gone on for about 1 hour and 10 minutes. I'll join you in the chat for a few minutes. I think this was good. I'm going to try and keep these to under an hour. I'll try and do another one of these tomorrow, like afternoon. I broke 300 live viewers today. Excellent. Thank you for your donations. And thank you for your support. Thank you for retweeting. I will continue to do my best to bring you guys more content. If you want to do me a huge favor, I know this is like, hey, I'll gladly accept your $2-3 in Bitcoin. But if you're the kind of person that donates $3 to $5 to me every week, I don't think anyone is, but if some of you are, it will be much better for me if you only contributed once a month and make it $20. That would be just a lot easier, because that would save everyone money. Because you have to understand that whoa, is the link to time really a 404 error? I have to address that. Okay, so what you have to understand is when you have a lot of inputs, a lot of small micro transactions and inputs into an address, and then you want to move all that out as a single transaction, it's going to be very expensive, because that transaction takes up a lot of space in the next block, and the miners are going to want to be compensated for that space. So if you're sending me $5 or let's say $2 donations, it might actually cost me more than that to move it out one day until SegWit and Lightning get in. So please, you're better off just shooting me $20 once a month instead of $3 to $5 a week. And look, and I'm hurting myself here, right? I mean, if the price of Bitcoin goes up and you wait a month, then I obviously make less, right? But that's okay. So I'm gonna click it over here. So if you go to my website, libertylifetrail.com, publications, here's the article, Intro to Time. I'm gonna click on it, and the link works. So I probably need to adjust this link in the description of my video, and I'll rewrite this article from scratch, and I'll publish it somewhere, probably on my website. Okay, but here's the article. You can also just Google the words "Intro to Time" with my name on it, and you will see it right here. When was it published? August 31st. 2014, right here, right there, and right here it says major. See, relevance, cycle, date, calendar, and event. So something big, major event, 2017.62. If you take 365 days, multiply that by 0.62, you will know what day of the year that is, and then you go to a calendar, you find it, and you will see that I only put August 17th, but I took another look, and I'll redo the math here, and I believe that this corresponds to August 14th. Okay, and I love talking about this because, hey, I wrote it 3 years ago now, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. All right, guys. On that note, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'll try and do another one of these videos tomorrow afternoon. I'll join you in the chat for a few minutes. And hey, Bitcoin is at 2,500 and looking beautiful. All we need is SegWit. Support SegWit in any way, shape, or form. Have a good night. Have a good night, everyone.
Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to Today in Bitcoin. Today is May the 24th, 2017. At least it still is in the United States. This is home of long-term cryptocurrency thinking. If you are impulsive, then you will not like this channel. I am proud to have the best guest in the space on this channel, and expect some really good ones on Friday for this week in Bitcoin, which should come on at 10:30 a.m. in the morning Eastern time on Friday. I'll have more about that in my next few videos. Before I start this video, I just wanted to say that not everyone in the United States, North America, Western world, the whole world, not everyone knows about cryptocurrency. Some people have never heard of it. Actually, hardly anyone really knows about it, knows about Bitcoin. And just take a moment and step back and appreciate that you somehow got into this space after a day like today. Depending on how much of a commitment you made before the 2016 halving, you might be in really good financial shape right now. And who knows, you might be set for life after some things that happened today. Who knows? Who knows what we're on the path toward? But you gotta think about the people who don't even know about this. And you also have to think about the 2020 halving, that, you know, there is still opportunity out there for people, but just consider yourself lucky or smart, or just think about the situation we're in. It's just amazing to be in this space right now. All right, so I'm wearing my Bitcoin shirt from